Yay! Hello,
Woo.
everyone. We are live from the apocalypse, a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and progressive causes. And today we are raising money for Extra Life. It's a great charity that benefits the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And today is the official game day event where gamers all try to raise money for children's health, but also try to see if they're able to game for 24 hours straight. We will not be doing that. We are spreading our 24 hours across 2 days. And we are kicking things off with this game, Reward for Missing Pet. But if at any point during the stream you would like to help us with fundraising for our Extra Life goals, you can click the donate button, which you can find where the subscribe button would normally be on your Twitch streaming. And you can also type !donate into the chat, and a link will pop up if you are on mobile and don't have that little button handy on your desktop browser. And we generally encourage you to donate rather than subscribe on this channel, since the money really is more meant to go towards the charities that we try to platform. And unfortunately, if you do subscribe to us, you really want to give us that money anyway. We pour it back in the game. But for every month that you subscribe, Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog.
You are a sick son
And
of a...
yeah, just like that.
Dog.
Just like that.
He's the bad guy.
You know, we're all about trying to save the pets, the animals, this morning. So don't subscribe, donate instead. And yeah, Jaydeb, why don't you take it away with what we will be doing this morning?
All right, yes. Hello. My name is Jaydeb. It is spelled with an A, but you pronounce it as though the A were an O because my father wanted to confuse everyone I meet for the rest of my life. The premise for this game, Reward for Missing Pet, as I had pitched to people, there are many request boards throughout Taurus City where anyone can post an aid for assistance. For a week and a half, let's change that. For 2 months, there's been a request from a well-to-do family for either information on or recovery of a missing pet of some sort. Respectively, 50 gold pieces for the information and 1,000 gold pieces for the recovery. After the 7th novice crew to accept this mission was, like all the others, never seen from again. Nobody since has taken it. But it's been a while since our intrepid heroes have had a good haul, and that 1,000 gold piece reward is looking more and more appealing. So, we can take it away, and from the order I see on the stream, let's go ahead and everyone describe their characters. Alex, please describe Dion.
So, Dion is a cleric. He is coming into this village having left his family behind, kind of not quite fitting in, and wanting to kind of strike his own way into figuring out his faith, figuring out where he fits in the world, and that sort of thing. So, picked up the message board and just kind of going from there.
Good. For our viewers also, Dion is a cleric of Galanis, who is the god of seas, storms, destruction, and healing. But next, Rouge. Describe... Oh, I was going to... Rouge, describe Shay. Wait, are you muted?
It helps to unmute yourself before you try to talk on the channel. Yes. So Shay is a ranger who is part of a halfling enclave separate from the main society here, and was tracking a monster that had attacked her enclave. and only managed to take it down just as it had reached the tavern over the wall. And now that she's here, she kind of has been, I wouldn't say putting off going back, because of course, it's just because she wouldn't be shirking her duties or anything. It's just that there's so much to learn about other people here. And I'm sure there's a good reason why she just doesn't as urgently want to get back with wanting to make sure there's no more monsters lurking about before she goes. That's it. That's why.
Good. Then next, Claire, could you please describe Beha?
Of course. Behan is a barbarian. Behan is the son of a blacksmith who was supposed to follow in his father's footsteps and did not do that, and instead went to go compete as a gladiator and had too much pride to throw matches or do anything that you do when you start out. So Behan is just kind of traveling around, putting on shows and feats of strength for his own fun and to make a bit of a living outside of where he came from. And he came to where he is now, just sort of performing and going on his way, then just having a great time doing it.
Great. And finally, Skylar, could you please describe Misha?
Misha is a forest gnome, College of Glamour bard. She comes from a large gnomish city where she told a few too many tall tales and decided that her audience was limited. So she needed to go out into the world and travel and find new places and see new things. And she made her way to Tourist City to spread her good stories and have a little fun while she's doing it.
Good. Great. Thank you all. And to set the first scene, you all are gathered in the tavern where you have, slowly over the past couple of months built up your friendship with one another. You have worked together already. Just a few weeks ago, you had taken down a vicious gang known as the Battering Rams, led by Ramses. And yes, so you are in the Plaid Badger, at least this branch of the Plaid Badger. And there on the request board, you guys have all been eyeing, and it has been probably a solid 2 weeks since anybody has said they were going to take the job, this reward for missing pet. And considering you didn't even get any actual money from the last job you guys did, that 1,000 gold pieces is looking really good. There is an address on the request to go to for more information. So, is there anything else you guys are going to do at the Plaid Badger? Or we can go around and describe what exactly are people doing just as you're killing time at the tavern, because as with stereotypical D&D games, we're starting off at the tavern.
I think Misha is pulling Bayon over to the stage so that Bayon can lift her while she strums her lute. She just, she is so small, and Bayon is so strong, and through a sweet rendition of some folksy country song, she just is sitting on Bayon's shoulders and trying to draw a crowd.
Behan is lifting her around, if anyone, just sort of putting her in different poses and sort of trying to have her swoop down and up again and on her shoulder and then lifting up high and twirling and just having a really fun time doing this. Yeah, lifting Misha during performances is definitely a fun thing to do. So hopefully we have a crowd. I don't know if we have a
If
crowd yet. Hmm?
It's midday. There's some crowd at least. There are people being entertained, definitely. And if anything, it is more of a show of strength, a feat of strength, to be able to not just Misha isn't exactly very big. It's not that hard to pick her up, but picking her up and manipulating her in the air while not disturbing her song, that's the impressive part.
And hey, you have at least one enraptured audience member because, as usual, Shay just finds all of this fascinating and is right in the front so that she doesn't miss a thing.
Dion would also be admiring it because they were brought up to be like a very strong, like you have to battle the seas kind of thing. And they kind of struggled with that growing up as far as like being a good ship hand and stuff. So Dion would definitely be admiring the feat of strength as well.
So after you finish up that show, you get a solid 6 silver to split between you two. But now it is down to a little more profitable potential business. So, anything else you would do? Ask around anything before just going to the address that's on the request posting?
Dion would want to be like, if there was another cleric or just person of faith around, be talking to them, like trying to find out about their faith and their beliefs to kind of compare them to Zone. Not like trying to convert them, but just being like, learn a thing.
Yeah, just finding out. Would you say that's something Dion's been trying to do anytime he comes across another person of faith in the city?
Yeah, with his own struggles, like he'd be doing that.
Okay. I'm gonna say there aren't any in a tavern at midday, at least none investment that you can really tell. Also, for the audience, I hadn't mentioned this before, but all 4 of these player characters are from
just
out of
fucking
town.
grip it,
Big
baby.
reason.
Slop that
Somebody
down,
donate.
dude.
That is a big
Dude,
reason
crack one for the
why.
big boy. Just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it, baby.
Thank you, whoever
Slop that
actually
down,
has donated.
dude.
I can't quite see.
Dude, crack one for the big boy.
Mini stream, and I paused the big stream window.
Well, the first one was James, so thank you, James.
Thank you.
And then the second one was me. I did not realize that someone beat me to the punch by like 30 seconds. So back-to-back donations.
Okay, good. Anyway, thank you, both of you. So, there isn't anyone right now, but that is interesting flavor to have built in. You have noticed that a lot of the people in you always felt like the people from your homeland, from your home city, were too rigid with their religion. And now out here in this big town, in this big city, everyone just feels too lax with their religion a lot of the time, and you're like trying to figure out where the happy medium between the two is. But otherwise, you guys can go on to the Botsaris residence is where the posting had come from. So,
Behan's just going to continue to carry Misha. I don't know if Misha's going to continue playing, but this is fun. And it's nice to have people like come up and be like, yeah, what are you doing? This is great. Okay. And So if Misha is cool with it, Payon would like to carry him to the address.
Oh, yeah. Imagine Misha is just playing a gnomish version of Jolene by Dolly Parton on your while you are carrying her through the street. And hopefully, like, some occasionally handing Behan like a little hat or coin purse or something to accept small tips, maybe. I don't know.
Behan will occasionally lift Misha down, swoop them over so that their face is right in someone else's face, so that they can like get real good close up and then back up on the shoulder. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. Yep. Um, let's start the day off, and atypically for me, could you please roll both of you performance checks?
Sweet.
Ooh.
Yes.
Let's see if you make a random amount of money. Hot damn.
Whoa, nice.
Well,
Yeah.
so Misha had only rolled an 11, but more impressively, Behan had rolled a 21 on his performance check. So you get 5 whole gold pieces. You
Woo.
somehow make more money walking around town and just continuing to manipulate Misha in the air than you had made at the Plaid Badger during the lunch rush-ish.
I think Shay's following behind with a hat for like people to throw coins in.
And Misha's going to lean down to Behan and whisper in his ear, "That's dinner, baby," and give him a little kiss on the forehead.
Yeah.
Thank you, After Powers. But so yeah, you end up making your way across town to the Botsares residence. That is, it's in not the very nice part of town, but it's a solidly middle class, if anybody remembers what that actually was, part of town, and a very nice looking townhouse.
Uh,
You guys are
Let's.
outside of a townhouse.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk up
Who is
and knock
knocking?
on that door and say, "Hey, sup?" I don't know if anyone's there, but I'm gonna say, "Hey,
Okay.
sup?"
Hey, sup? How one starts all business meetings.
Yes.
Yep. You knock on the door. Do you say "Hey, sup" before it even opens?
Yeah, just loudly through the door.
Do you just like knock on the door, "Hey, sup," like loudly so that people inside can hear? Is that what's
Yeah.
going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So you do that, and then a few moments later, the door opens, and there is an elderly elven woman in nice enough robe, but just ah, are are you here for the missing pet?
Good
what?
afternoon, Grandma. Yeah, absolutely, we are.
Oh, that is very kind of you to think I am so young as to be your grandmother. Please come in. And she directs you into a room on the ground floor that has a nice little waiting area, some couches, some tables. Please just wait a moment. I'll go upstairs and get the young master from his studies.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name, ma'am?
My name is Seja.
Seicha. That's a beautiful name.
Eh,
I'm sorry. Just before you fetch the young master, if you would mind, giving us a little bit more information about the job, so we're better prepared to converse with him. Um, the- it, Now, I've heard a rumor that a couple of parties have already attempted this job and haven't returned successful. What exactly is the nature of the pet we're seeking?
It is a cat. Specifically, and she says a word, who among you can speak Elvish?
I believe I can. Yes, I have Elvish.
I also speak Elvish.
I'm pretty sure Behan only speaks Common and Orcish.
Yep.
And I think Misha only speaks Gnomish and Halfling.
Common, Gnomish, and Halfling, yep.
So Dion and Shay both recognize that she says a term that sounds like the Elvish for cat brother.
Is that a term I would recognize, or is it literally just cat and brother, and therefore I know these words, but maybe not what that is supposed to mean when put together?
Your choice of an insight check or a nature check.
I'm gonna go with insight.
Okay.
Oh.
Hot damn. Both of you guys scored higher than 20. Is hot damn safe to say?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought I was sitting pretty with that 23, and then you came in with the 25. Like, gotta show me up.
Yeah. Well, both of you rolled nat 19s there, and both of you have proficiency, and unlike the other two, positive wisdom modifiers.
That's why we have the other languages. We so smart.
Sure.
FMRT.
Both of you realize the way that Seja says this term, cat brother, sounds specifically like she is naming a thing other than a normal cat. Neither of you know what exactly that might be, but it sounds like she's not saying that the way that she says it isn't saying that it is a brother to cats. It is a cat that is a brother to her.
I'm gonna sort of half turn and speak to Misha specifically in halfling to be like, she said it was a cat brother? Is this a thing in these parts?
Not to my knowledge, darling. Not to my knowledge.
Seja frowns. Excuse me, clears her throat. Does something. My apologies, perhaps, she starts speaking again. My apologies, perhaps the way that I said it earlier and using Elvish, if you are not as familiar with our customs, would be difficult. Rouge, Shay is now hearing Seja speak fluently in Halfling. Except everyone else is hearing, well, Skylar, Misha is hearing it in Gnomish, and the other two, growing up speaking Common as their primary language, are still hearing Common.
Oh. Oh dear.
It is similar to a cat, however, it has been blessed by proximity to my people for so long, so it has certain differences and a higher level of intelligence than cats normally.
Well, Seja, thank you so much for the information ahead of time. I do quite appreciate it.
Of course.
Dion would, when Seja said blessed by the proximity to our people, would be like, do you mind if I ask who your people are?
The elves.
Okay. Is there like is there like a religion check I could do on that or something? Like,
Do you
I
have
can't think of it.
Arcana?
Or Arcana? I can roll Arcana.
You can roll Arcana.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. You know, elves have like a tendency towards magical stuff, and it's kind of mystical, but at least in this setting, they don't have like big fancy Tolkien-esque towers. They tower cities. They are a more nomadic, modeled off the Romani. They're a more nomadic sort of temporary people, more in the Fey side, if you want to imagine the setting. But so before she goes off, would any of you also like any tea, coffee, wine?
I'm good for now, I think.
I'd love some wine. I'd love some wine, please. Yes, that'd be great.
Very well.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
So, absolutely.
I mean, I guess if one of us is having a drink, it would be rude for us to make Behan drink alone. So I guess I'll also have.
Oh, here, have mine.
Wine.
And I just like shove my wine goblet into Big Hands.
Well, she comes back. Well, first she goes away. She comes back with. She will come back with 2 glasses of wine. One actually seems a lot sturdier and larger than the other one.
Clearly, that one's for me. She can tell I'm a drinker.
Definitely, and yet that is not the one she sets in front of you. And then she goes back, and she says, once again, let me go get the young master Alistair away from his studies, and goes upstairs. And a few minutes later, comes down with a teenage human boy who is wearing nice clothes. Finally, I was worried everyone had given up on finding poor kitty cat. I'm sorry, I didn't name him very creatively. I've known him since.
Oh, that's its name, Kitty Cat.
I that's what I named him when I first started speaking, and I have always referred to him as Kitty Cat.
So you've had this cat in your family for a while, then?
Oh yes, he's older than me.
And how old are you? Or how old is poor kitty cat?
Seja, how old is Kitty Cat? And you look up at her, who's the Alistair has sat down on one of the chairs, and Seja's just standing over his shoulder. And as you look up at her, you see that she has an arched eyebrow. Yes, he will be 42 this summer.
That is quite old for a cat.
Well,
But I mean,
she did say
And
he
you're-
was blessed.
yeah.
Confident the cat went missing, not that the cat maybe reached its time?
Oh no, the cat brothers easily live 1 to 200 years. They tend to live longer than humans.
So
Yes,
when you
anyway,
said
he's been by my side. He's been by my side pretty much since I was born. Um, he'd been in the family beforehand anyway, just I've always called him Kitty Cat. And no, he's gone occasionally missing for a few days or a week maybe, but he's been gone for months now, and we're really worried. Feel free to roll insight.
So before I roll insight, I want to ask Mr. Allister his age.
He is 14 years old.
And does he look like he's 14 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
there we go. I rolled 2. So that's on brand.
Nice.
Okay, good. Yeah, Claire got 2. Rouge got 7. Skylar got 15. Alex got 24.
Roll20 is being good to me, and I'm kind of scared that it's being good to me now. And when we actually get into combat, it's just going to betray me completely.
That is the way.
Yeah.
That is in fact the way. And yes, the dice are being spicy today. So Behan and Shay are just like, okay, sure, that's weird, and you are still thrown off by the idea of the cat being not even like remotely senior at 42. In fact, that's older than Shay or Behan. Now, Misha, it's kind of interesting just because, gnomes live a decent amount of time. At least you're older than this cat, so you're not thrown off by that. And you can tell that young Alistair definitely is legitimately concerned and worried, and he's taking his time, whatever his studies might be. He is taking his time with that, but he's put out this notice because he doesn't know what to do, and that feels pretty legitimate. Alex, Dion is also getting all of that vibe from young Master Alistair. And then over his shoulder, Seja looks barely worried at all. She looks a tiny bit worried, but nowhere near as worried and distraught as young Master Alistair.
So I'd ask young Master Allister if he knew where poor Kitty Cat would go to when he would vanish for a week or two before. Like, where would he usually go? What would he usually do? Like, how would he be found? Come back.
Oh, he would always just come back on his own. He's very stealthy. If he ever wanted to hide and stay hidden, he could for a very long amount of time. Sometimes I swear I would walk past a tree and he would just fall on me, and he was not in that tree when I looked at it. But then he would always just come back, and he might disappear for a few days. No matter what we would do, Seja would never let me cage Kitty Cat, after all. But the no matter if the doors were locked, he would find a way out of the house if he felt like it, and he would just disappear and come back a few days later. I have no idea where he would go.
And then I'd turn to Seja and just ask her, be like, you don't seem too concerned about poor kitty cat being missing right now. Do you know where he goes or what he does when he vanishes? You've been with him longer, so I would assume you would know more about his behavior or that sort of thing.
I can perhaps give you a little more guidance, but before that, is there anything else you would like to ask the young Master Alistair?
Uh,
I mean, unless you know more about the details of exactly when he disappeared this time that stuck in your mind as suspicious, then no.
It wasn't
It,
suspicious at all. Oh, you know what? Let me take you upstairs to show you some of the paintings that I've done of Mr. Kitty Cat.
Good, because I was just about to
Sure.
ask what he looks like.
Yes.
Like, is he an orange cat, black cat, large cat?
So he takes you upstairs, and there in one of the rooms on the second floor is a little, a little artist's room. There's all sorts of materials for painting, and it seems like the young master actually spends a decent amount of time also painting. And you see, for a teenager, he is quite good with the realism. You see several paintings of one of the most ornery cats you could possibly imagine. Like the number of paintings where this cat seems like he is glaring or rolling his eyes. You didn't know cats roll their eyes. And yet this cat distinctly looks like he's rolling his eyes. Otherwise, it is long hair, striped in that tabby sort of way, brown and gray. And judging from, there does seem to be a more professionally done painting that is actually framed and up on the wall of the young Master Alistair holding Kitty Cat. And Alistair in the painting seems maybe a year or two younger than he is right now. And that cat, if you had to gauge from that painting, must be 25 to 30 pounds and probably 2 to 3 feet long. That is a large cat.
All right, I've got a question. I've got to ask.
Yes.
You said that this cat
Yeah.
is smart. Can you
Yes.
get it? Okay, wait. What's this cat? Is cat like a she or he or I
This cat is male.
this cat is what?
Male.
Male.
They had
Okay.
been using male pronouns. Yeah.
Can if he's smart, can he like go in a circle?
Like, as a trick?
Yeah. Has he ever like jumped over your arm?
Uh, young Master
Like
Alistair looks a little confused. It's like, well, no, but I've never asked him to or trained him to.
so how's he smart?
Well, he seems to understand a lot more of what I'm saying, but a cat is still a cat. Dogs are a lot easier to train than cats are.
don't I know it?
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, Seja speaks up. If there's not anything else for the young Master Alistair, I would ask that we can let him return to his studies, and I will discuss the rest of the details with you all.
Oh, bruh, what are you studying?
And okay. And he gives a little bow to Seja and says in Elvish, "Thank you for handling that, matron." And he runs back upstairs. "Please, if we may return downstairs." She leads you back downstairs.
Mm. Yeah.
This is technically well, I wish to respect the cat's communicated desires. And young Master Alistair is not completely aware of how intelligent the cat actually is. Suffice it to say that the cat can understand the spoken word quite well. Now, being understanding and intelligent is no relation whatsoever to being obedient. As is true with cats. Dion, what was the question that you had asked before?
If because Saja's known Kitty Cat longer, does she know where Kitty Cat likes to go to when he runs away? What he does? Anything like that?
Yes, he has always been somewhat he's always fancied himself somewhat a ringleader, let's say. And while, as with all cats, he does a good job grooming himself, sometimes he has come back smelling odd and
Odd how?
rank. And honestly, I would look for where perhaps other animals might be more intelligent that he can try to lead. I understand that there are some magical researchers at the nearby academy that actually specialize in animal research, and perhaps they might know better about where exactly to find the cat. However, you did say earlier, and you had correctly assessed, that I am not as worried as the young Master Alistair. Well, cats are cats. The cat will come back when the cat decides to come back. If the cat cannot come back, that is a different issue. Perhaps it is getting to the situation where I consider that to be a more serious potential issue. However, well, at my age, a few weeks.
Sure, I'll but you're wanting to go.
Mhm.
Um, so I understand the being less concerned that a cat who's known for roaming hasn't come back yet. But it doesn't concern you that actual adventurers have gone looking for this cat and they haven't come back?
What do you mean they haven't come back?
I mean, that's the word around the tavern, is that we're not the first people to try to take on this case, and obviously none of the others succeeded. So the word around the tavern was that they just haven't come back.
Really? I haven't
That's
actually heard anything about that yet.
So we have competition then. If they haven't come back and you haven't heard anything, they haven't reported in. So either they've abandoned the mission or we have competition.
I simply assumed that they had abandoned the mission and not desired to communicate that to us, which I wouldn't be surprised by. But if something has actually happened to them, I am unaware, and if they are still attempting the mission, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable actually paying them for taking 3 weeks to 6 weeks to find a cat. And so I would have assumed any of them would have at least returned with 50 gold if they had found any information.
Yeah, 50 gold is a fair chunk of change. Hmm.
But I was not aware of that. Understandably, I don't think anybody actually cared to inform us that the previous adventurers that accepted our request had gone completely missing.
Hmm.
Now I am slightly worried. Also, just to let you know that cat brothers are capable of a certain amount of innate magical aptitude. Most of it is trickery and stealth. However, just to let you know that was part of why I wasn't very worried, because they can and typically do hide from danger rather than engaging it. But this news does have me slightly worried.
You said earlier that Kitty Cat prefers or fancies himself as a ringleader.
Yes.
How has he demonstrated that before?
Oh, well,
Like
when he
coming,
was littered, then he was immediately, let's say, strong armed his litter mates. And he would frequently lead them on, let's say, various hijinks. He was frequently the leader, the initiator among all of the cat brothers.
There's more than one cat brother.
Well, yes, they are rare, but they are a species.
Okay, where do we find the cat brothers?
With the elves.
Where do we find the elves?
Excellent question.
I believe she pointed us in the direction of a university or an academy of some sort.
Yes,
Um,
the nearby academy does have magical, well, magicians that are researching animal studies of some sort. I am aware.
so it may behoove us to mosey over in that direction and speak to them if our good Seja has nothing else to say. No more pertinent information about Kitty Cat's usual haunts.
Okay, yeah, let's go talk to some cat brothers. Wait, do they talk?
She smiles.
Okay.
You are extraordinarily unhelpful.
I am respecting the cat's communicated desires. Besides, and she gives a side eye to Misha. There are ways to communicate with small beasts, are there not?
I would have no way of knowing, darling.
Did you just call my friend a small beast?
No, no, Behan, no. No, she did not.
Are you sure?
I'm 80% positive that was not a slight at me.
Because they're
was
small
not a
and they can
slight.
be a beast, but like they're not. No.
That was not a slight at your friend's
Okay.
stature or no. That was just an observation of their capacities.
Indeed.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
good luck to you. And should anything be too treacherous, uh, do not feel at all like 50 gold pieces is not enough to come back to. Please return with any information that you can provide, and perhaps another band can actually recover the cat. She sees you all out, closes the door, and you know where exactly the academy is. It's decently well known in the city. So, I think while we did get started a couple minutes late, the end of the scene is good for a 5-minute break and water refill and anything like that. So, audience, we will take a 5-minute break and be back at what my clock says would be 10:14. And we're back. Okay, just a couple minutes longer. But so you all know, at least roughly, you have heard of the academy. You know that it is a thing. You know where roughly it is. So you meander your way on over, and it's a decently big campus. It's several buildings that are all sort of set up around one central large courtyard. How do you think you will find researchers dealing with animals, magical animals, anything like that? You are muted, Skylar.
Are there people or like students, faculty wandering about the campus?
Yeah, definitely.
Just gonna pull someone aside and say, "Excuse me, we're looking for the researchers dealing with magical zoology. Do you happen to know where their lab is or their study is?"
Magical zoology, Oh, yeah, they're over in the basement of that building over there. They point
Oh.
to a nearby building that is a large enough looking building. You hadn't realized it would have a basement, but I guess that makes sense. Sure.
Thank you for your help. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Looking around kind of oddly, and then just sort of wanders away on their daily business.
Right.
So you go over to that building, you go in. As you walk into the building, you feel a weird sort of tingle.
No, I don't like that. That's weird.
Like something just went up your, like just a little brief, mild electric pulse go up and down your body.
May I make a perception check to see if anything is around, or otherwise if this is a just like, oh, wizards are doing weird wizard stuff, or if this is a, oh, something is doing something specifically to us kind of vibe.
Feel free. Feel free to roll a perception check to see if anything's around, and also roll an Arcana check.
All right, that's a 3 on the perception, so probably not. On the Arcana, it's wow, roll 20 hates me. That's a 7.
And Alex still not doing bad. Not over 20 this time. Okay, Alex got twinsy 19s on Perception and Arcana.
Yeah, Roll20 is playing some severe favorites today.
I think on our next break, I'm going to go get some physical dice. Alex, you're
I'm
muted.
gonna ride this wave I'm gonna ride this wave for as long as I can.
Okay, good.
Also get it because I'm a sea god. Ride wave or
Teehee.
sea
Yeah.
cleric. Yeah.
Yeah. Having a time and keeping it feral. Yep. Keep it feral. Keep it feral, Roll20. Okay. So everyone gets a little weirded out by this, looking around. Nobody sees any obvious caster of the magic, whatever just happened. Misha and Shay aren't 100% sure that was magic. Behan is pretty sure that was magic. Behan's like, that feels like magic. Doesn't feel
I do
bad
not like
magic.
it.
Just like I don't
Don't.
like that magic just magicked me. And nobody asked to magic me.
Is there a door anywhere around?
Well, you did just walk through a door into the building.
A second door, or third, perhaps.
Well, actually, Dion, looking around, notices that the entire door frame is in fact encircled with runes carved into the door frame. And a more interesting thing, it looks like there aren't shadows inside this building. There are no shadows. And so thinking about that and thinking about what you know about magic, you're pretty sure you guys just walked into a hallowed area.
Oh.
Which is just magically blessed area, basically. Blessed, but hallowed by some deities, clerics, probably.
Would I be able to do like a religion check on it then, as far as like symbols that for the runes to like recognize for a god or anything like that?
Sure, you can roll a religion check too. Let's see if you're if you have a wave to keep riding. God
I
damn
do.
22. Okay.
What is this favoritism bullshit, Roll20? What is this?
Seriously. Okay.
No one else needs to roll for the rest of the game. Whatever check we need, just make Alex roll everything. We're gonna waltz through this.
So you're looking around, and based on some of the symbols that are tying the Hallow together, you can tell that this is Capricorn, who is the god of knowledge and magic.
I mean, I would share that info freely.
And you could share that it is also a Hallow spell, which basically can do a little bit of extra thing, but the main thing is it's supposed to keep out undead and extraplanar entities like fiends, fae, celestials, elementals, stuff like that. So you basically just walk through an X-ray scanner to make sure that you're not secretly fiends or undead.
Cool.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. But anything else people are doing with this knowledge, with this fun times?
So that was the doorway that we came through. There was no other doorway that or
I mean,
hallway
that
for us to.
was a doorway into the main hallway of this building. The
Okay.
external door, had
Okay.
that effect on it, and it seems like, as far as you can tell, at least this entire hallway and possibly this entire building is in fact hallowed.
And then, was there like anyone kind of moving around or anything?
Yeah, there are
For us
people
to-
moving around, sure.
Okay. Yeah, just go up and see if we can ask somebody where we know of any zoology research being conducted.
They
Down
can,
in the basement.
Yeah.
they can direct you down into the basement.
I feel like this is going to come off a very like animal liberation sort of team attempt here of just like, hey, where are you keeping the animals?
What? We just want to pet the animals.
So, you guys get directed to the stairwell. You make your way down, and as you go downstairs, then you see a large open area as compared to the other, the ground floor was a hallway, and as you walked past, you could see there were certain like labs or lecture halls sort of thing, some offices. But down here, it is mostly all one open area.
Is there anyone down here?
There is. Also, as you first come down, there is like an airlock situation to get into that large open area of like a little, a little room with window doors just on either side of it, rather. And you can see through to that large open area. Just it clearly is big open area with, I keep saying that, the room seems to have a bunch of not cages, but display cases, like large terrariums and aquariums, and not just small cages with a bunch of animals, entrapped in a cage barely big enough for them, but actual, like, imagine like at a modern zoo or aquarium where you're going around and all of the little exhibits of animals, and how it gives enough space for the animals to play and run and do things and not just be bored and captive. That's honestly what it looks like down here. That's a lot better than you had expected. But you walk in, I assume. Are you guys walking
Yeah,
through the first
Yeah.
door? And you
absolutely.
find out that you can't actually open the second door until the first door is closed.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And then you walk in and you see several people, milling about. Some people are like taking notes on animals. Some people seem to be like writing frantically, or drawing the images of various animals. And there's a decent number of common-ish looking things and a few things that are not very common at all. In fact, off in one corner, of the room, you see what looks like, at first it looks like a panther, but an emaciated panther, and then you realize it has too many legs, and then you also realize that it has tentacles growing out of its back.
Oh.
Skylar knows what I just described. Several people in the audience probably know what I just described.
Oh. Does Behan know what you just described?
Behan has no context for that, no.
Does Shay, as someone who is a ranger who stalks monsters and is favored against beasts?
Actually, Shay would know that is a displacer beast over there.
What a surprise!
It's like, you didn't know displacer beasts could be captured. You're used to just killing them. But they also like eating halflings.
I think this is a situation where Misha knows what a displacer beast is, but has never seen one. So she's just like, oh, what a fun kitty cat.
What are they doing with one of those?
It's a brother cat, right?
That is not a brother cat. That better not be what we're looking for.
That does not look anything like the paintings of Mr. Kitty Cat that you had seen. And yes, I saw somebody had, I think Hex had said, they used to have a cat named Miss Kitty, so I have named Kitty Cat Mr. Kitty Cat specifically.
Mr. Kitty Cat.
Out of character, my best friend's
Put
cat is
respect
named
on his
Kitty
name.
because she answers to Kitty, so it became Kitty. Other name was abandoned, so. But yeah, so that's not a brother cat.
No, that is a displacer beast. That is dangerous. What are they doing with that in a cell down here?
I presume studying it so that we can make sure that they're less dangerous.
Somebody overhears
the way to make sure they're less dangerous is to kill them.
Somebody looks over and is like, oh, well, yes, but that's why it's magically restrained in there so that we can continue studying them and better understand them in their, well, an attempt at their native ecology. And you can see that it's actually like underground looking sort of thing, which is not actually where you're used to running into displacer beasts, but you know, it makes sense that they come out from underground and they come out into the forest because you've never really come across a den of them. You've mostly just hunted them down as they're, you know, trying to eat a bunch of halflings.
Oh, hey. Nice to meet you. My name is Behan. These are my friends. We're looking for some brother cats.
Cat brothers.
Cat brothers.
Not cats who are brothers. Cats with their cat brother.
Sorry, let me go get let me go get one of the actual head researchers. I will be right back. And that person that had interjected runs off. You guys also see fun things.
I think while this is happening, Shay just gets close to the displacer beast's pen and is just like, I'm watching you.
Does the displacer beast have a shadow?
No, nothing in here has a shadow.
Okay.
That's concerning.
Well, that's part of the warding, I thought.
That is the potential application of Hallow is to have bright light everywhere. Not coming from any specific source, but everywhere, and therefore no shadows exist. Yeah, the displacer beast does not have any shadows, and as you look around, you also see other fun things, like there's an owl there, there's a, you know,
Oh, I want to pet it.
That, at first you think that might be a trick of the eye, but no, that really is an 8-foot-tall hamster over there.
Okay, so if there's no shadows because there's no dark places in here, wouldn't that really mess with their ability to sleep?
Oh, we turn that off.
Isn't that like a way you drive something insane?
Oh, we turn that off at night.
Okay.
Also, you can see somebody, another student is like, oh no, and if you see over there, you see a couple of dark rooms. That's where we keep the nocturnal ones. We just have excluded that from the light effect of the Halloween. Yeah, yeah. And then the previous student comes back up with an um, middle-aged looking human woman who definitely just has like mage robes on and a couple of wands even hanging from her belt. Yes, how may I help you? I am Adia Vaturia. I am in charge of the magical zoology department here.
Hello. My name is Misha Dovnya. These are my friends Behan, Dion, and Shay. We are on the case of a missing pet. Now I'm not sure how familiar you are with cat brothers, but that is what we are looking for. And we were wondering if you had any pertinent information that may help us elucidate the whereabouts of our feline friend.
Cat brother. Oh, hmm. Yes. You there. And she just points at another student who just sort of jumps a little bit. Go grab me, and she rattles off a couple of book titles. Go grab me those volumes. Oh, yes, mistress. And the student runs off. Well, that does ring a bell. We do not actually have any cat brothers here.
And may I say, darling, your robes stunning. Are they is that silk? Are they sorry, business. Yes, business.
No, it is not silk. But I am aware of it. We haven't had any to actually research here. There is some questionability to conducting long-term research here of non-harmful intelligent species. We really do try not to hold on to the non-harmful intelligent species for very long. Obviously, things like displacer beasts or cave fishers or anything like that, we will hold on to research how exactly perhaps we might be able to better defend ourselves against them, develop improved technology for that, or even discovering a way to utilize components from them. However, I am aware, I would just call them elven cats. Elven cats are intelligent, and any cat that can actually speak multiple languages, in fact, I would be very remiss in actually keeping any of those in a captivity situation such as that. If anything, I would just want an interview, but I don't imagine that a cat would be very cooperative in an interview. Do you?
Hmm, suppose not.
I'm having a little
And
bit of trouble hearing you. I'm sorry.
no, sorry. Do I need to lean a little closer to the microphone?
I,
Or was I
I
speaking too quickly there? Because I was
it's
rattling off
just
some things.
no. It's just when you're in like at the ends of sentences, I lose. I think when you like go, your voice goes down a little bit. I'm sorry.
I will be mindful of that. Thank you for the notice.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks.
So, the student comes back with several books and she opens it up, flipping through. Yes, okay. Well, and she sets down one book on a nearby table and has it open to an illustration that looks pretty close to the paintings of the cat that you had seen before. Yes, I do have some documentation, some limited documentation of them and their capabilities. We do not actually have any of them here again. So, why exactly, might I ask, are you looking for an elven cat?
Do you know Alistair? Alistair? Or Sage?
I'm sorry,
No.
what?
There's some friends, or not friends. There's some people who want us to find their lost pet, Mr. Kitty Cat, and we heard that the brother cats hang out here, and so we just thought we'd come down and ask, like, hey, where's some brother cats, so that we can try to find Mr. Kitty Cat.
I was not aware that there were any elven cats in the city at all. Though if there were only one, perhaps it makes sense that I wouldn't have heard of it, noticed it, anything like that. And I wouldn't blame it for staying as far away from the academy as it safely could.
Why? Do you like
But
take brother cats to study them?
no, but it doesn't know that.
Well,
This, I'm sure, to any species with a heightened sense of smell compared to most of us humanoids, that this room must smell fascinating and possibly terrifying. But, you know, cats do love eating rodentia. And we have noticed a tendency that, for whatever reason, possibly related to the disaster from 30 years ago in the evocation tower, then it wasn't the transmutation tower. It was the transmutation tower. Several of the animals, particularly rodents in the sewers, have been showing heightened signs of intelligence. And while we had been trapping them and attempting to trap them, we have not actually been able to catch any more for a couple of months, perhaps 2 or 3 months. We haven't been able to capture any of those bizarrely intelligent rats from the sewers. We do have some still alive. If you wish to see them, or if you have any method of communicating with them, you could.
Oh, I can. I can talk to animals. Well, small ones, teeny ones. And it's not so much talking as I get what they're saying and they get what I'm saying, but I can speak to some small animals.
Very well, right this way. And she
You can
leads you
talk to
over to.
rats.
I can also talk to squirrels.
Oh,
Gnomes can speak with small beasts.
oh.
Small ones.
Automatically, not like a spell or something.
Yeah.
It's a racial feature.
Nice.
Speak with small
Simple
beasts.
ideas only through gestures and sounds. Yeah, but it is free, unlike, yes, Rouge, you do have.
My one-a-day spell that I
That's
can
pretty
speak with
cool.
animals.
Wow.
So I'm keeping that in my back pocket because
Yeah.
Squeak, squeaker, squeak, squeakum. That That's basically what all gnomes can do. Yep. So she leads you over to an array of smaller terrariums, and in there you find one display case that I suppose, is big enough for Misha or Shay to curl up in and comfortably fit inside. And you see in one of those display cases that size, there are 3 rats. Everyone roll a perception check.
These rolls.
Hey, Rouge finally rolled higher than Alex. Okay, Misha got a 3. Claire, thank you, Skylar, for updating the name in Roll20. Misha got a 3. Behan got a 10. Dion got a 15 only this time, and Shay got a 17. So Misha goes up and is just looking at them and just like, huh, these are sewer rats? They look remarkably clean. Well, that makes sense. They're not in the sewer anymore. And I doubt the researchers just want to have, sewage encrusted animals hanging out. Okay, no, and that's where your mind goes when you start looking at these. Claire, Behan, the rats are not like scurrying about. They're not just like scurrying about. They're not just curled up. They're actually like awake and chilling. It just looks like they're chilling.
All right, these are some chill rats. Are they cute?
I mean, they're pretty cute for rats, yeah. And I mean, they're clean and they look well groomed, so they're grooming themselves decently well. They don't look mangy or diseased or anything like that, despite apparently having been sewer rats. Dion and Shay, the rats are doing something. You're not sure what they're doing, but they are all facing each other and like messing around with things, like little stones.
Go up and tap on the glass.
Okay, go up, tap on the glass. The 3 rats all turn to look at you. Do you do anything else?
Wave at them.
Roll a persuasion check.
19.
2 of them wave back.
Oh, dude, I wave at the rats.
Yeah.
The same 2 wave back. The one whose back was facing you anyway just like turns back and keeps on futzing around with whatever he's futzing around with.
Is there a way to reach into the terrarium?
Not immediately, no.
Okay.
Can I just say in like a kind of cute voice, like, "What you doing there, little guys?"
The 2 friendlier seeming ones and eventually the 3rd slightly less friendly seeming one all hold up like several rocks, several tiny stones that you can see they've actually chewed numbers onto, or shoot numbers of dots onto. Basically, these rats have made a quick dice game.
So who's winning? Who's winning your dice game?
We go back to the throwing the rocks.
Can I throw the rocks?
Are you asking that just verbally, or are you asking that?
No, Misha will turn to her party real quick and say, "This is going to be very embarrassing for me. So do try to keep your comments to a minimum." And then she's going to turn around and squeak and chitter at the rats to indicate that she would like to throw the dice in the dice game, as well as, yeah, she's going to ask to throw the dice in the dice game.
Okay. The grumpy looking rat, the less friendly one, gets up and starts gesturing and like squeaking in a way that this feels way more complex than what you're used to hearing from animals. And basically, you get, it doesn't trust you. Chew your own stones if you want to throw them.
I will reach into my pack and pull out a chunk of cheese from my rations, like dried, hard road cheese, and wave it like, I'll buy in. I'll buy into this game.
And it narrows its eyes, which you can tell it's narrowing its eyes. And it points with its little rat paw up to a little slot at the top corner that you can see is actually for like delivering food, and there's a little chute that leads down to a plate.
I break off a chunk and put it in the chute.
Okay, it rolls down, all three of the rats run over and impressively divide the cheese between themselves before eating the chunk of cheese you dropped down. And then the grumpy
Just got scammed.
Yeah, the grumpy one walks up and just gestures to you, sup.
All right, you little rat bastard. I got more cheese where that comes from, but if you're not going to play game, then you're going to play ball. And I'm trying to communicate this.
No.
Too much?
It gestures at you. Like, it starts waving. No. Like, waving and shaking its head. These are not gestures you have seen from rats. And then it starts gesturing, and it's like, you aren't here to throw stones. You are here to talk. What, want, sup.
Kitty cat, big, smarter than you.
Yeah, Justin,
had
fucking
fun.
rip it, baby. Slap that
words.
down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you, Julia. We just got a donation from.
Oh, thank you, Julia.
Yay!
I'm so happy that our getting talked down to by rats is what spurred a donation. Here, have some money out of pity because these rats are playing you. This is embarrassing.
Drop us money like we drop cheese into a rat cage.
You get from the rat, never seen a cat smaller than me.
Smarter than you.
Yeah, but you said big.
Oh.
You said big cat, smarter than you. And then, like, just putting
Fair.
it out.
What do you think, gang? More cheese? Do we think the cheese is working as a bargaining chip?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a crumb of a ration. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. More cheese. Just in the slot, more cheese.
Okay. This rat holds out a paw to the side, maintains eye contact with you, and one of the other rats comes over and gives this rat his third of the cheese chunk. And he eats it while still looking at you, and then just like, what do you want?
More information, love. Listen, squeak squeaky. I know that you know something.
It starts gesturing all sorts of things that this is actually beyond your capacity. Roll an insight check, actually. Roll an insight check.
You know, I'm
Because
so
this
good
is
at insight.
beyond the normal communication levels that you expect from small beasts, right?
Truly.
Like, small beasts don't normally understand abstract concepts like, I don't know, intelligence.
16.
Okay. You don't get the whole story, but you start picking out little bits. And it goes into this little ranty rat. Ratty rant. And it says something about the king of the underworld and something about revolution. It actually like runs in a circle for that. And something about an alligator.
I
What's it saying?
One moment, darling. And I turn around to the party. Okay, King of the Underworld, alligator, revolution. I'm sewers? I think I caught sewers somewhere in there.
Definitely, yep.
It's
We're gonna
I
have to
mean-
go into sewers.
They did. Saja did say the cat would frequently come back smelling. So maybe
Bad.
sewers is a good guess of where to go from here?
I am concerned, but also intrigued, but also grossed out. I don't want to go in the sewers. I will, because the 1,000th gold is worth it, but
Well, Behan can just like carry us on his shoulders since, you know, we are small and might end up under it's any gross stuff will come a lot higher on us than you guys. So it's only fair for us to get a little pick me up if we're going in the sewers.
Can you ask where their sewer kingdom is?
I will try, but I need to impress upon you that this is a bit more complex than I'm used to getting in Squeaks and Chitters. Let me try. And she turns back around to the rat, who's like, all right, directions to your king, to the king of the underworld. And she kind of mimics the way, the like patterns and stuff that how he phrased it. So it is very much like, go where to get to, and then repeats the king of the underworld phrasing.
It gestures, and you can get back. Go to market, find sewers, follow death.
Follow
Smell.
death smell. And she says that in common. Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. So we're going to so she says to her party, we're going to the market, we're going to find the sewers in the market, and then follow the death smell to the king of the underworld. Sound good?
Sounds
I
good.
just have a quick question. Will you be buying me new boots after I carry you both through the gross sewers?
Darling, with 1,000 gold, we'll buy you a whole new outfit.
Okay, good, because it's going to smell really bad. We're all going to smell terrible. Nobody's going to want to be around us ever once we do this.
We can take a trip to the bathhouse after this.
All right. Okay. We're all going to stink. Ugh.
Yes, we are. And I turn back to our little rat friends and I say, thank you for the information. You have more than earned it, and I am just gonna upend the whole bag of ration that has like berries and fruit, dried berries and fruit, and bread and
Ooh.
cheese, into the to the food chute for the rats.
It's going to look surprised as you're doing that, and the other rats start like having a mini party and actually like holding hands and dancing in a circle with each other.
Yeah, we'll do.
And the rat who is communicating looks back at you and says, basically, it shows gratitude, and then you think it just said, "I hope you don't die."
Misha does not communicate that to the rest of the party.
Now, when the revolutionary comes, remember this and have us be the last against the wall, little rats. Not actually said, because I don't understand like half of what just happened, but
And I look to the scientist and I say, they should not be dancing like this for dried berries and cheese. Feed them better.
No, we've just been giving them nutritional pellets. I suppose we could give them treats every once in a while.
Do you?
I don't have speak with animals prepared today. That would be fascinating. I might have to interview these ones. They didn't seem to show any signs of intelligence while we were watching, and when we first took them in. Fascinating.
How are they behaving? I mean, did you monitor them? Did you try to communicate with them at all?
Have the rats gotten more intelligent, and that's why they haven't been getting trapped as frequently anymore? Oh, that's worrisome. Tell you what, if you discover anything about hyper-intelligent rodentia in the sewers, I will pay each of you 100 gold.
Oh,
excellent.
Sure.
We will certainly take notes on any intelligent rats. Now, is it just rats, or would other forms of
Actually,
intelligent life in the
any intelligent natural
sewers?
life form that is displaying a higher than typical level of intelligence for that beast. I know that there are other animals down there in the. Did you say alligator earlier? I could have sworn that there aren't actually alligators in the sewers.
well, we'll see, darling. We'll see.
But no, if you have any concrete evidence of and observations of those animals, then please don't just come back with notes of super intelligence rats galore. I will not pay 100 gold pieces for that. However, if you can actually provide any directions and evidence of hyperintelligence in any beasts, I will gladly pay for that information.
Do you have anything that might be of assistance as far as humanely capturing little rats or whatever? Small cage or something?
Well,
Like, if you're wanting us to bring one of these back, like, I'm assuming you have traps that you normally use that we could put one in.
I wasn't going to ask you to bring any back, and if the traps that we have been leaving down there, which are just, and she pulls a little contraption off a shelf underneath one of the display cases nearby and shows you this little thing that's like a wooden crate that seems to have some sort of mechanical door trap that when weight inside triggers it, then the door flaps shut and locks, right? So it's a non-kill trap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, honestly, these are also rigged so that when it gets triggered, that we actually get notified by it. We do have a system for that. However, none of them have actually been getting triggered. So if you find the remnant, if you find any of these down below, if they are fully intact, at least visibly, I will pay you 5 gold pieces for each one. And if it is damaged and you can bring back even the damaged copy, I will give you 1 gold piece for each one.
Okay.
There should be 20 down there.
Oh, we okay to take this one in case we find something and we can just grab a rat, put it in?
This is a more lie in wait sort of trap. Honestly, while I would appreciate if you could figure out any way to bring back any hyper-intelligent animals, I don't. We would typically send a team down that is perhaps more magically inclined to that exact task.
Okay.
You can roll insight if you want, but basically she doesn't trust you to not kill the animals accidentally.
Sure, I've got 6 in insight. It finally failed.
Nat 2. Okay. Yep,
yeah.
You don't realize she is speaking down to you. Okay.
Cool.
Anything else anybody wants to do in this scene?
A quick question. If you're putting these down in the sewers yourself, where...
No, we have post-docs for that.
If the post-docs are putting them down in the sewers themselves, can we like talk to them and be like, hey, have you noticed any gatherings of animals down there? Like, have you seen anything ridiculous? And also, B, what do the post-docs wrap their shoes in so that they can reuse them later?
Nobody is reported seeing any sort of large congregation of animals or anything like that. But if the normal way that this trap is triggered, it will, it will still be reusable, just it takes a little more work to actually reset it. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. What else had you asked?
Oh, just
Or was that
like
it?
I was concerned about my shoes.
Oh.
What do they wrap their shoes in so they can reuse them?
Oh. Well. No, you don't know very much about magic. Can none of you cast prestidigitation? If you if
No.
you
No.
if you come back here smelling like the sewer, I'm sure somebody on campus will prestidigitate you clean for free.
Great. That's great. Good. Thank you.
That's nice.
I was worried.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else immediately?
No.
Nope.
Does
I'm
Jen
all good.
want to? Does Shay want to? Damn it.
Yeah, all right. I'll cast Speak with Animals.
So, after Misha has been doing all of this, honestly, Shay also just loves the show that Misha can put on, right?
You know, it's just, I love watching Misha work. I mean,
Such a performance.
And then Shay just casts Speak with Animals and is like, hey, Rat, couple more questions. So the Rat's like, oh, thank God that charades was dumb.
all right. So we've picked up that there's something going on in the sewers, and
Yes. Yes.
what's all that about revolution? But that was a little.
Well, I've been up here I'm sorry, I only just started counting, like, a little while ago. I've only been up here for 20 nights, 20 days and nights.
Okay.
Or sorry, right cop. 60 days and nights. And at that time, Stonebreaker was planning on a revolution against the king.
Is Stonebreaker the alligator?
No, Stonebreaker's another rat, but he had bad ideas. I don't like Stonebreaker. He had really weird bad ideas.
Oh, so the king you're talking about is also a rat?
No, the king was the cat.
Oh, the cat we're looking for.
Probably. I mean, that was an intelligent cat, and it enslaved the alligator first and got the gator to believe that it would, like, the cat could beat the gator anyway. So then it was like riding the alligator around, and it was just, ruling over us and would just show up. But then it started abusing its power a little too much, and the rat started getting intelligent. And I know Stonebreaker was planning on a revolution, but there's also something really weird and iffy that he was doing, and like more flies around him, and just like I don't mind flies that much, but he was starting to smell really weird.
Okay, so let me get this straight. A cat.
And how would charades communicate this clearly? Sorry.
Yes, I'm actually really happy that I'm getting this like more in-depth information. This is wild. So there was a cat.
Yeah.
Who declared himself king.
Yeah.
Because he was riding a gator around.
I mean, I
mean, that's pretty impressive sounding.
He's been king.
But the rats started to dislike that.
Oh, yeah.
But last you heard, there was a rat named Stonebreaker who was going to try to overthrow the king. And that was, at the very least, several months ago, because you've been here, you said 60 nights.
I've never heard the word month before.
Oh,
that makes
fair.
sense.
Okay, so that was yeah.
Okay.
Because normally it's like 30 days is a month, and like it's a human thing how we track that kind of stuff. It's a grouping.
I've never. You taught me a new word. That's almost more valuable than the cheese that he gave us.
A certain amount of well.
Hey. Okay. Rouge is back. Rouge blipped out for a minute there.
Yep.
Okay. But yes, Stonebreaker was planning on overthrowing King Persepolis.
Okay. Persepolis.
Persepolis.
Just gonna make a note of that.
Yep. that is in fact the point.
And my pun was bad.
Your pun was bad. Your joke was bad, and you should feel bad.
I
Anyways.
accuse nobody for their puns. Okay.
I did. I redeemed some of my channel points to do the reaction of your joke is bad and you should feel bad back when Alex made the right in the wave joke.
Got it. And that was pretty solid. I thought that was pretty solid. Anyway. That was pretty fluid. But otherwise,
you're all terrible. Okay.
Anything else that you want to ask? Because I know we need to take a quick bio break.
Does the alligator have a name?
Does the gator have a name?
Thunderjaw.
Or is it just gator?
Thunderjaw.
Excellent. Thunderjaw. All right. Were there any other animals besides? Were there any other animals we should be looking for besides rats, a cat, and this gator, Thunderjaw? Was there anybody else who was part of this court?
Not that I remember, but I'm not sure if the rats are still rats.
That's a really good.
Horrifying. Thank you.
Okay. And are you able to give any more detailed info about where in the sewers this all was?
Yeah. Okay, what's that direction called?
East.
No, like
North.
You know, one paw.
Left.
What are these called? Left.
That's your left.
And this is right. Okay. And it starts describing to you basically multiple turns that you get. You access the sewers from the marketplace entrance, and then it starts describing 24 different turns at various intersections that you would have to take to follow the smell of death. And it says, and that will at least take you to the murals. And you should find everything else from there. Yes.
Okay. I mean, frankly, you've been more helpful than anyone else we've talked to so far. So, thanks.
Is there anything we should have before we go down into the sewers, since we're going through a marketplace?
Do you want me to ask the rat, or are you asking the team?
Do you have paper so we can write down the directions? I don't have any paper.
I think
we can say
lab,
one of you has paper at least.
The lab people probably do.
The lab people have paper, and I'm pretty sure Dion has paper. You can have it recorded. I'm not going to ask you to memorize the directions, as I have not written down and develop the directions to actually test you against, right? But if you ask the rat, is there anything you need before
Sure.
going down into the sewers? The rat's just like, a sense of smell?
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I don't know what
Enjoy
you...
the cheese and the berries.
Yeah. I hope you don't die.
Is that because of the gator, or is there something else that we should be worried about causing death down there?
I don't know, and that's why I ran away.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but this is free room and
Interesting.
board.
Oh, so you guys like it here?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I was gonna, yell at them for keeping you guys here, but great. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
no.
gonna mess with your free ride if you're liking
Yeah,
it here.
no, we act dumb most of the time they come over and observe us. We just, you guys look weird, so we didn't feel like actually covering up. But, if any of those, the the ones with the like paper pads and books that are always running around
Mhm.
marking things down, if they come over here, then we just act like rats.
Got it. Very smart. You don't want the extra attention that's going to come if they figure out how smart you
And
are. It's true.
free room and board.
You know,
We
can't
don't
beat
have to
that.
fight for it. We don't have to defend it. We can just, do our thing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I don't think I caught your name. What's your name, friend?
I haven't earned a name yet.
Oh, that's a special thing. So like Stonebreaker did something cool to get that name.
Well, yeah, he did, but I don't remember what it was.
Did he break a stone?
Yeah, I mean, he chewed through it, but that's like, it was a special stone. Can't remember what the
Oh.
special stone was.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks. Maybe we'll come back and visit you after we get out of the sewers.
Cool, I don't know when visiting hours are. Okay. With that, is there anything else you guys are doing down here?
No, I think we've exhausted everything.
I mean, while I've got to speak with animals, do any of the other animals look intelligent enough for me to have a talk with?
Not to have a talk with, several of them you can communicate with if you really desire, but we could just have that as added flavor that as you guys are leaving, Shay is,
Exchanging
talking up,
pleasantries with the other animals
exchanging
on my way out.
pleasantries. Some of them seem very rude.
Oh.
Yeah. How does Misha feel that after that entire charades thing, that Shay was just like, hold on, let me throw actual magic at this?
I'm a little embarrassed, and I don't really want to talk about it. But Shay, for the record, love, if you could do that before I made an ass of myself, that would have been great.
I was, I didn't know what your way of talking to them looked like, and I was curious, and like I know how it looks when I do it, but like you don't have to use a spell to do it, so I was just sort of curious about, what your process looks like. So I just wanted to see it.
Yes, my biggest fan. You are adorable.
And let's
All
be
right.
fair, you chitter more sweetly than the actual rats do.
Oh, darling. Thank you.
All right. Then, otherwise, you leave without much more. Here's a word. Well, you leave without much more happening, and you head over to the marketplace. If anybody wants to buy anything, I am not going to play it mean like Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where they say that if you are playing during the summer heat has made it so gross in the sewers that you have to roll con saves. But I'm not going to do that or anything like that. So let us take a 10-minute break, and we will be back, lovely audience, in 10 minutes.
Yay!
Or so.
And if anyone else wants to share with whatever she picks up, we can just like pass it around and everyone just, get a little bit to.
Oh yeah, hit me. What's that to be hit? Are we going like an apple? Are we going like a citrus? Is it like a peppermint deal?
I feel like something like peppermint or lemon, might be what we need as far as like the strength for something to like just counteract.
Whew. Oh, that burns. That burns a little, but it's good.
In fact, why not get crazy with it? It's a lemon mint like combo.
Ooh.
Yum.
Yeah.
So it's like smell like a straight kitchen.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Misha takes the bottle of essential oils and does dab it under her nose, but then also kind of just like dabs it on her neck. Delightful and refreshing.
Behan is gonna go get his weapons sharpened, just tune them up a little bit. Go to a blacksmith and be like, "Hey, can you put this on your whetstone and wet my blade or whatever you do?"
Ooh, saucy. Behan, I didn't know you had it in you.
Of course I have it in me.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah, gonna sharpen up that hand axe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
right. Your actual blade. Got it. Okay, now I'm following. Got it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I thought that it was.
Isn't this a family-friendly channel, Rouge?
I mean, today maybe because it's extra life. Normally, I would say not at all, but
it's also not even noon yet, and I have tried to make this the very worst of PG-13 game. So
we didn't say anything explicit. I was just talking about Behan's method of making friends.
I make friends real easily.
Lots of friends everywhere you go.
Everywhere I go. They love my axe.
The axe is your nope. So you guys can do that. This is a one shot. I am not worried about accounting so much that I'm going to tell you how much it actually costs, but you easily get some nice perfume ointment sort of stuff to smear under each of your noses. And it's easy enough to get your weapons sharpened at any smith. So you do that. Anybody else doing anything to prep?
I'm going to buy a fish to do a religious ceremony.
Okay.
Over the sewer that we are about to go into.
Okay.
So
may the tides be ever in our favor.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So otherwise, you find the access to the sewer easily enough once you are over there. And you guys can go on in. It's just, there's a gate, but it's not actually locked because who in their right mind actually wants to go into the sewers? Normally just adventurers. And you go down and Alex, describe this ritual Dion is going to do once you get to the actual flow, as it were, in the sewers.
So it would be just kind of saying a prayer to my God, and then cutting open the belly of the fish, and just letting the fish guts go into the sewage water.
Do you get to keep the rest of the fish to eat, or are you required to give that as well?
I would say a prayer over the fish's body, and then put that into the sewer water as well.
What a waste.
Yeah.
There goes lunch.
I'm not much for fish anyways.
Aren't you?
Well, a little bit.
Bards.
All right, so could we get if we're actually going to go in, could we whoop.
Yes. Bayon, love, can we climb up, or should we wait
Yeah.
until...
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
Honestly, Behan is big enough and strong enough that maybe, handholds are in question, but otherwise, Misha and Shay could each just sit on one of Behan's shoulders.
Hold on.
No,
I have
little
an idea.
halfling.
I have an idea. I go to a stall that is selling fabric. I buy some scraps. I pull out a needle and thread, and I sew holsters onto my vest.
And so what?
Little loops that you can hold on
Oh.
Oh,
to.
so that we can be more like turret mounted. So like one of us is
Like the
on
little
the.
baby carrier
Uh-huh.
that you see, like
Are you wrap
new
us, or are we
moms.
just like hold basically places for us to put our feet and handholds,
Yes. So there's
Got it.
one this level
like
for your feet
stirrups and handholds.
and a handhold. Yeah.
But alternative, if I get to ride on your shoulder, I can have my bow out, and then it's like a mounted weaponry sort of thing going on.
So the
No,
trouble with shoulders is that if you're on my shoulders, then I can't carry Misha on my other. If you're around my neck, then I can't carry Misha on my other shoulder. I have to carry Misha like a baby, and then I can't attack people with my whetted axe.
All right.
Also, good luck staying on Behan's shoulders or anywhere on Behan when they actually start hitting people with their axe.
Fair enough. We'll go with the hand and foothold method instead.
For now. Yeah.
You
For now.
want to quick
Yay.
dismount.
Anyway, so you set that up. You head down,
I am going to
and
pull up my cloak of manta ray and have the hood up.
good.
So,
In case you have to go swimming. Yeah.
yep,
In the shit.
Mm-hmm.
in the ship.
Like an eel. Or
Okay.
a manta ray.
So you start following the directions you had scribbled down from the rat. And at first, you don't know what exactly it was talking about because,
I feel like I'm using one hand, and one hand I've got the directions up, and I'm basically just directing Behan of okay, and now you now left at that particular broken grating. They said left there,
Yeah. Also, quick question. Is Dion lighting a torch?
Dion,
I think that's supposed to be a hint that you don't have dark vision.
I know I do not have dark vision. So
Everyone else has dark vision. Shay surprisingly has dark vision because of being a gloomstalker despite being a halfling. Yeah.
I mean, if everyone is good with it, I would light a torch versus stumbling around in the dark.
Yeah, who knows what
Or
shitty situation
we have
we'd get
more fabric, and we just make you could be like one of those little leash kids following behind Behan
Seriously?
that way.
I mean,
Put a new plate at you, Dion.
it would.
We'll just make a little harness for you. I'm not saying collar. I'm saying, like a little harness, just around your middle or something.
Also, to be fair, while that isn't inherently a bad idea categorically, it's not like the platforms through here are completely swept clean.
I guess we'll light a torch for you then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know,
Okay.
I keep forgetting not everyone can see in the dark.
Humans. But, so you start going, and the first few stretches of sewers that you're going through, I mean, it all smells horrible. It smells a little less horrible because of that ointment that Shay decided to pick up, the perfumed ointment. And at first you don't notice it, but after several turns, then you start smelling more than just the, no, shit, down here, more than just the bathroom type bodily fluids. You start getting a little bit of that, like, copper note of blood, and you start being able to smell a little bit of offal and rot in a way that isn't just bathroom related. And you're going, and the flow is lessening. The amount of buildup in the main channel of the sewer is lessening, and yet the flies are becoming more plentiful. Now, you all weren't surprised that there were flies. There are flies out in the market. It's a city. Of course there's flies. And
Of
there were a
course.
good number of flies in the sewer when you first went down. But as you're walking, there are more and more and more flies.
Gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's gross.
Oh, our rat friend did mention Stonebreaker had started having more flies hanging around him right before him and his pals made their escape to the lab.
Ah.
So this might be meaningful in some way. We should probably be careful.
I know that this is good, but this is gross. I hate it. Ugh.
Okay? You keep walking, keep going, and you turn the last few intersections before the rat had said something. What did the rat say? What did the rat tell Shay you all were going to? The directions were to?
A
There were
mural.
some murals.
Mm-hmm. So you come and you take that last turn, and down this hallway, you start seeing on the walls, smeared with little paws, paintings. Don't ask what was smeared, because they did not buy paint from the marketplace.
Ooh.
Great. This is great.
Oh.
What are the paintings of?
Well, you see some paintings that actually seem they had been there for a while, that are like paintings of, you can kind of tell there was a cat with a crown and, like, lording over many rats and cats and dogs.
I have a question. Does this cat have a grumpy face?
It's hard to tell. The artists who painted this were nowhere near as talented as young Master Alistair.
You should
Mm.
go to art school. This is crap.
Yeah. Ah.
Literally.
And yeah. Good. There's another one that actually shows the cat, and, like, think also that this art level is less realism and more like someplace between cave painting and that really awkward medieval art where, like, they didn't actually believe in depth perception yet.
Or realistic proportions, or, any
yeah.
of that.
Yeah. So there's another thing that shows the cat clearly riding an alligator.
Hell yeah.
And actually pointing out, like, a paw, and the alligator just eating a bunch of rats. Both of these paintings, both of these murals, you can kind of tell what's there, but they have been scratched up a lot.
Like someone was trying to destroy them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
The
could
revolution has
actually
begun.
destroy a lot of the details.
Oh, that's probably why he's missing. He's been dethroned.
And you keep going down this hallway, and there's some completely destroyed murals there that have a more reddish brown paint.
Oh, that's not good. Can I roll to see if I can identify whether or not it's blood?
Yes, a medicine or nature check.
So it's a
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, no, you definitely. This seems like very old dried blood and something else, honestly, but you're not entirely sure what that something else is. It is not just more poop.
Okay, so hopefully this was done with the gator and not Persepolis.
And the the paintings down here show a rat with a crown, and the rat with a crown is dancing among bones. And another painting of the rat with a crown with wings, but fly wings.
Like the spell fly. Not...
No, like a housefly.
Okay.
Yeah, like insect wings. Those wings are not superfly. No. And there's writing that... Alex, what languages can Dion speak? I know I made the characters. I know I made the pre-gens for this, but I can't remember.
What I'm going to assume that you're asking is, yes, I know Primordial.
It is not primordial.
Okay. Otherwise, Gnomish, Elvish, and Common.
Okay.
I have Common, Halfling, Elven, Sylvan, Primordial, and Infernal.
Yeah. I know I gave at least one of you this.
And I have comprehend languages.
Well,
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast comprehend languages.
well, you can, except Shay recognizes Infernal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then never mind.
Ah. And in recognizing Infernal, do I know what is?
Yeah. It says several things along the lines of praise be to Stonebreaker, first signer of the contract of freedom.
Guys, I think this goes beyond just a little bit of like interspecies squabbling.
Praise be to Stonebreaker, destroyer of his enemies.
This is Infernal?
Yeah.
I don't know why the rats are speaking infernal, but this is infernal, and there's something about first signer of the contract. I remember our friend, rat friend, mentioning something about the way Stonebreaker got his name was he specifically broke a weird stone. And I'm a little worried now about what that stone might have been.
You know, it would explain why the rats got suddenly more intelligent down here as well, if they signed a contract or pact of some sort.
So we might be dealing with warlock rats? Demon rats?
Rat
I don't know
knocked.
what it is at that point. I know it's probably something that I'm going to need to kill now because this doesn't sound like something that should exist in nature.
True.
I'm really not interested to find out what rats with demonic powers are able to achieve.
What?
I think that Persepolis might be dead just because the rats are dancing on bones.
That could be the gator. I'm still hopeful that's just the gator so that we can get better money payout in the end.
Well, really no way for us to know unless we go. I think you're right.
What a catchphrase.
I think I'm ready to just let's kick it. Let's find this cat. If it's dead, we bring back its body and get the money. And if it's not dead, then we bring back its alive and get the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where to?
So, you keep going. And you keep going. And this hallway empties into one larger room that seems like it was actually cut out a little more roughly. The stone of the walls and everything is not smoothly hewn. It isn't cut with tools. And there in the middle, on a little raised platform, are a huge, well, it is the huge skeleton of an alligator. The bones have been completely picked clean.
All right, cat might be alive.
Not Thunderjaw.
Aw. Long live Thunderjaw, first of his name.
Yeah.
And last of its name at that point.
Yeah.
But you see, the sewers do continue in one direction as per normal, but there's also another roughly carved, roughly hewn tunnel going off at an odd angle in a different direction, and the entrance to that tunnel seems too high up to have been practical for the sewer's purpose.
Hey, let's get out of the poo water.
Yes.
How big is the tunnel?
The tunnel's about 4 feet wide, 4 feet circle, so Behan can army crawl through it.
I guess
Maybe
it's time
hands
for us
and
to
knees
dismount.
can go down it, but yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I put down Shay and Misha, and I climb up and I start going head first into the tunnel.
No.
Teeth barred. Axe ready. Axe unable to get out of its holster because I'm in a tunnel. But That's right.
So you start going down, and yeah, you don't. As you go further down this tunnel, what is the marching order? Also, let's just say,
Me first.
obviously, Bayhan is first.
Is Bayhan first?
Unless somebody really is like, oh no, I want to go first.
I feel like actually Shay would want to be in front. Shay is a gloom stalker, and especially if there's a torch, I want the torch all the way at the back.
Yeah, I was gonna volunteer to be at the back just because. Also, just healer.
Yeah,
That's
So
all right.
I would say Shay wants to go in front, and if she can be a little bit even further out in the front to take advantage of her dark vision being like outside of the reach of the torchlight.
Yeah.
That would be her preference.
Also, your ambush capabilities.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that's the other thing is like when this kicks off, she wants to be able to do an ambush run before we really get going. Yes!
There
cat!
it is.
Oh!
Kitty cat.
What is that kitty cat's name?
This is Bo.
Hi, Bo.
Yes, you are headbutting me. You are just defeating me and destroying me. So
Oh.
you go down, and you're going down in that order. And the further you go down, the less, thankfully, you are smelling the huge stench of the sewers. The problem is, you're starting to smell other stuff, and it's starting to smell more animal, and you smell more of the. At this point, it really is the smell of death. It is rot and blood and guts, and just not a fun time you're heading towards. And as you keep going, Shay, you're the first one to hear anyway. You're out front. You start hearing, it sounds like chittering, like distant chittering. And as you get closer, each of you subsequently can kind of tell that there's chittering. And Shay starts noticing, oh, that's weird. That's like synchronized chittering. And then you get closer and you're like, oh, that's rat
Chanting?
voices chanting.
Oh my gosh, the rats have learned how to chant. Oh gosh.
And they are chanting in Infernal.
No. What are they saying?
They're saying a lot of things of, give us, we give you souls, you give us power. We give you souls. You bring your servants. We give you souls. You bless us with strength. We give you souls. You kill them all. Standard stuff. Yeah. And then you also hear there is a sub-chant going on where you just hear, kill the cat, slit its throat, bash it in. Kill the cat, slit its throat, bash it in. Who expected that reference?
Do you tell us that this is what they're saying?
If you're within range for me to say it to you somewhat quietly, yes, but I was planning on being like relatively far out front, at least far from Dion. So depending on how everybody's grouped.
I'd say I'm like 10 feet behind you.
All right, I'll say, I think the cat's alive, but it sounds like they're about to sacrifice him. We've got to go in now.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay, I get closer.
And they're
I-
definitely demonic. Yeah.
I
Oh,
would put out the torch at this point too.
I pass the message back, and then I crawl closer.
Okay.
So Dion puts out the torch, and you can still keep crawling. I mean, you're just following a pretty straight tunnel anyway. It's not completely straight. It's a little windy.
I mean, I would put it out,
As-
put my hand on someone's shoulder, and just kind of follow.
As you keep going, also you start noticing there is some light up ahead,
Oh,
and you also hear through the rat chanting. Basically, imagine evil chipmunks. That you hear the yowling, the sad yowling of a cat.
Oh, baby.
So cat is still alive.
Okay. She wants to go
Misha,
in.
before Shay does that, Misha's going to like crawl over to Behan, although she really doesn't need to because I think the tunnel is fine for Misha, and say, Behan, love, don't die. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on you, Cat's Grace. So you get 2d6 temporary hit points.
Oh, sweet.
And you also get advantage on dexterity checks.
Thank you. Okay. 1 second. Let me just do that quick roll. 8. Great. Thank you. 8 temporary hit points.
Good. Anyone else casting a spell to prep going in there?
Yep.
Um,
I'm going to give guidance to Shay.
yes.
And that's it, because everything else is concentration, and I can only concentrate on that one.
Yeah, my stuff is not pre-battle. It's like once I get in there. So I do have stuff that I want to try and kick it off with a surprise round, but we'll see what happens when I get in.
I'm going to turn back to Misha and say thank you, love, and give her a quick cheek. Or give them a
Oh,
cheek.
Oh,
Darling.
okay.
Actually, because 8 is not a
concentration
concentration
either.
No, so I will spend a second level spell slot and cast it on all 3 other people.
If you click on the spell on your spell sheet, it should give us the description in our Roll20 chat, so we can see what that does as well. Either clicking on the name or the little like chat bubble that pops up next to it. One of those puts it in the chat.
He populated 8 in.
There it is. Okay, great. So is it us 3 and not you?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So you all then make the final little crawl to this chamber. And there, on this uplifted platform in the middle of the chamber, hold on, Alex, just 1 second. Don't touch anything on your character sheet.
Okay, you're doing stuff.
Okay, I had missed something. There, in the middle of the chamber, is a large bonfire that looks like it has a lot of bones in it. And it looks like various humanoid bones and humanoid skulls, and you're thinking, oh, I hope this isn't where those other adventurers went, the other novice adventurers.
It's where they went.
Yeah. And there in a cage hung above the fire is the cat yowling. And around the fire are several rats that are just like chanting in Infernal and doing the like bow thing over and over as they're chanting. And just on the other side of the bonfire from all of you, you can kind of see a rat-like being that is wearing a cloak and standing upright at about 4 feet tall.
Okay.
Oof.
4 feet tall rat, you say?
Yeah, taller than you.
Cool. So that's the one I'm going for. And I would like to kick things off with
Are you going to do this from the mouth of the tunnel?
yeah, how far are they from me if I'm at the mouth of the tunnel?
It's decent. It's not very far away. It's only like 60 feet away or so.
Cool. I'm pretty sure I've got that range. Right. I didn't mean to like roll that, but if it does end up being I need to roll that, we can just
I mean, that's a pretty good roll.
Okay.
just making sure there wasn't something else I was supposed to roll instead if I'm using Dread Ambusher for this initial. At the start of your first turn of each combat, your walking speed increases by 10 feet. If you take the attack action on that turn, you can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action. And if that attack hits, the target takes an extra 1d8 damage of the weapon's damage type.
Also roll 1d8. Just roll a straight 1d8, please.
Okay.
Okay, so you land this surprise shot on what seems to be the, yes, human child-sized rat, the usual, that seems to be leading whatever this ritual is, who hisses, definitely gets hit, hisses in response. And then Shay realizes Shay has blocked up the tunnel's exit for everyone else to get around.
I mean,
will
I'm
say,
running in as I do this.
I'm going to say Misha will get off her fairy fire.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to click that.
Never mind. Okay. I'm going to ask everyone else, everyone, period, to roll initiative now at this time.
Well, do I get my second attack since I'm using Dread Ambusher?
Yes. Go ahead and... That one does not hit.
Yeah, that's fair. I also wanted to use, as my bonus action for the surprise round, I wanted to use Entangle. No, Ensnaring Strike, sorry.
Okay, that can be ready for your next round then. If you had told me beforehand that you were casting it, then we could have resolved it that way, but now I'll just treat it as your next attack.
Oh, because like I was just assuming since it was a bonus action that it was okay for me to just sort of do it all in order of resolving the attacks and then adding the fact that it was a bonus action.
Let me see whether I should be a hard ass or not. I will not be a hard ass. Okay. But,
all right.
Please, at the start of each of its turns, it takes damage, but doesn't take additional damage before that. Otherwise, it is just a strength save. So, cool.
Well, I guess it is like when I cast. Okay, rereading it, it's when I cast it the next time I hit. So yeah, actually, it'll be I've turned it. I meant to do it when I attacked this round to like ensnare it right away, but I missed the fact that I was supposed to have like done it before I did my ambusher shit. So I will
it says
have it. I
you
cast
hit
it
an
now
enemy.
so that the next time I hit him, he'll get ensnared. Okay.
Now, I am letting you retcon that you did that bonus action before your first strike.
Sweet.
So, what is your DC also? Oh, 12. Never mind. Cool. Got it. Okay. So, otherwise, oh, good. I'm glad I'm glad that went perfectly. Okay. So, let's see. We have initiatives for everyone. Shay, Misha, Claire, Alex. Excellent. Huh. Okay, Behan, you get to go next then.
Cool. I am gonna go to the mouth of the tunnel. I am going to throw my javelin, and if it hits, I'm going to use Orcish Fury to make it hit extra hard.
Okay.
I hope that hit.
Yes, a 25 hit. Please click the javelin button on that.
And then with Orcish Fury, I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
Another 10.
Okay.
Hot damn. And then with the rest of my turn, I am going to run the full 30 feet into the room to whatever position is most advantageous. I'm going to psst at Misha and tell them to get behind me if they want to.
Okay. Are you running in a different direction? Or are you basically running in the opposite direction around the room from Shay?
Opposite, yeah. And I look back at Dion to check to be sure that he is okay. And I'm like, can you see?
I think at this point I can see because the
There
hall's lighted.
there is a bonfire. He can definitely see around the bonfire.
Okay. All right. I'm keeping eyes on Dion.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Before anyone else gets to do anything, then Stonebreaker. Spoiler: this is Stonebreaker, is the 4-foot tall rat thing in a cloak.
No, really?
Yells in common, destroy the interlopers, and then casts a spell. That covers the entrance tunnel opening with a sphere of blackness. And inside, Misha and Dion both feel little shredding blades of ice and flies buzzing all over them and getting into their ears and nose. And just an unpleasant time. This is a reskin of Hunger for Hadar. And each of you take 20. Actually, both of you, please roll a dexterity save.
Oh.
Misha takes 20 points of damage.
Oh, sorry.
It came through the first time.
Yeah, I had scrolled up.
And it was much better the first time than any of the subsequent times. Misha takes 20 points of damage, split between cold and acid. And Dion only takes 10. Now, it is Misha's turn.
Well, that certainly changes what I was planning on doing. First things first, I'd like to get out of the sphere if I can. And then it's been a hot minute since I've played a spellcaster. Can I use Healing Word and Vicious Mockery on the same turn? No, because they're both action.
Yes, Healing Word's a bonus action.
Oh, bonus action. Yay. Okay. Then I'm going to do a Healing Word on myself so that I'm not at 7 hit points. That's 1d4 plus 3. 1d4 plus 3. So I get 5 hit points back. And then I'm going to Vicious Mockery Stonebreaker. He needs to succeed on a Wisdom save or take 1d4 damage.
By the way, if just real quick in Roll20, if you go to Core and then you look down under the Rapier and Dagger, you see Vicious Mockery and Healing Word. You can click there
Cool.
to just pop the spell in and roll if relevant. I'll let you, yeah. But, okay, so how much damage? Go ahead and roll for Vicious Mockery.
3 damage.
Okay. He hisses in your direction and yells. Actually, is going to look over and point at Shay and yell, "Take down that one."
No!
So, Shay, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 15.
Okay. Do. One moment. Okay. You take 12 points of damage as 3 of the rats suddenly glow with greenish, bluish energy and shoot eldritch blasts at you. 2 other rats will try to shoot at Behan despite what they were just told to do. Bum, bum, bum. And Behan, what is your armor class? Sorry, I think you're muted.
It is 15, and
Nope.
I realized that I have not started raging yet, so that's going to suck. Yeah.
Well, you take 10 points of damage as one of the other ratlocks blasts you straight on and, does full damage with its Eldritch Blast that hits you. The
Great.
other Eldritch Blast goes awry.
This is great. This is good.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
There are several other rats, probably like 24 other rats, and some of them start swarming towards you. Each of you, I should say. And several start running away, and Stonebreaker starts yelling, "You cowards, you'll You'll all die when the Lord of Flies rises.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the literary reference of kill the cat, slit its throat, bash it in.
Yeah.
It is now Shay's turn.
Sweet. So, Stonebreaker is ensnared, or no?
Stonebreaker looks like he has vines over him that he doesn't mind.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my bonus action this round to put my hunter's mark on him.
Good.
And then I am going to attack with my bow.
Do you see below your attacks that there's a checkbox for Hunter's Mark bonus damage?
Oh, now I do.
Okay.
Now I've checked it. Haha.
It will auto add. That does not hit.
I think that is a 14 total, by the way.
Yeah, that does not
Okay.
hit.
Just double checking. Okay. Unfortunate.
Okay.
I think that's it for me, unfortunately.
Okay.
Right? I don't have anything because I used bonus and I used my attack, so there's nothing I have that can...
I mean, you can move around a little bit if you want, but since we're just playing in the theater of the mind and not actually...
Yeah, there's no real
math.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Just assume that I'm...
Okay, Dion, it is your turn then. You are in cold, slurping, fly-ridden darkness.
So I would just try and run straight forward to get out of it. And then once I can actually see again, I want to channel Divinity and cast Shatter, where I can see Stonebreaker. And then, but it's a 10-foot radius from a point that I identify, so if I can wrap a couple of the rats up into that, I would, but that would be 28 points of damage, I believe.
You easily can hit all of the rat blocks with that. Only the rats that are going for melee attacks, basically, and scampering towards people are not still on that platform.
Cool, yeah, but it still hits Stonebreaker too?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Just to be clear, you are using your... Yep, okay, you are doing thunder damage. You can channel Divinity to deal maximum damage because of the Tempest domain. Excellent.
Yep.
There goes your channel Divinity. What is the save and how much is the damage?
The damage is going to be 24, I believe, because it's 3d8. Yeah, 3d8 thunder. And then the save, I believe, is 14 for the DC save.
Wow. Good. So, and I'm assuming you said your spiritual weapon is thwacking Stonebreaker too?
The spiritual weapon as a bonus action?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would occur too. I was planning on doing that as the bonus action, but I think they're like, am I able to cast a second level spell and a second level bonus action spell in the same turn? I thought there was a rule against that.
So you already had declared, I thought spiritual weapon was out.
No, I never did.
No? Never mind. You just clicked on it. Okay. You can, though,
Oh,
cast it.
I clicked the
You
wrong
can
thing.
cast it because it's a bonus action.
Yeah, I meant to click
And
shatter.
it doesn't have summoning sickness.
If I can do shatter and the spiritual weapon, then yeah, I'll do both.
Okay. Good, good.
Do I need to click on shatter then for the going to hit?
No, because it's doing it's just a save. So it's save or damage, so there wasn't an attack roll, and then it's doing max damage with your channel divinity, so
Sweet.
don't have to roll damage either.
Cool.
So you drop this spell, just fully channeling all of the power of your god, the god of storms and sea, and you imbue this spell with great might. And it hits all of the Ratlocks, including Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker and one of the Ratlocks seem to shrug it off. All four of the other Ratlocks have their little rodent heads explode, and they just basically all start, you know, they all have a bad time, and they fainted.
Cool. Yeah. No,
Nice crowd control.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
I mean, there go all my second level spell slots, but go big or go home.
You can do that if you. This is a one shot. I mean,
I know. Yeah.
Okay, then. Behan, it's top of the order again.
All right. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to invoke Ares and say, praise thee, thank you for your rage, and I rage real hard. And I run towards Stonebreaker and shout, you made a deal with the devil, but you still look like a bad rug. What are you doing? And then I'm going to relentless attack him with my maul.
Good. Roll them all.
Oops, sorry. I pressed the wrong thing. Sweet. With relentless attack, it has advantage. Okay. So there's that. Yep. I'm going to press it for damage.
Okay.
And that's +2 for the rage damage. So 12 total. And let's see, there was one more thing I wanted to do. No, that's good. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to do. Between the reckless attack and the other things I have going on, this means that the advantage and disadvantage even out to just normal for different attacks level against me right now. Oh, and reckless attack was for the advantage. Okay. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Resolved. As you slam your giant hammer down on Stonebreaker, he explodes with acid and fire and flies.
Oh!
Please roll a dexterity save.
At advantage, because thank you, Misha. $17.
17 passes, so you will only take half of that. You take 14 points of fire damage.
Alrighty, that sounds
fire
great.
And acid damage as Stonebreaker dies, but just as he's dying, he tries to drop his other spell slot on a Hellish Rebuke. and he hits you just nowhere near as hard as he wanted to.
That's okay. He is dead. He is now the ugliest rug.
Mm-hmm. His death is now the ugliest rug. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, Misha, it is your turn.
There's some ratlocks yet left.
There is one ratlock left who looks terrified.
Good. I'm going to look at him and dissonant whispers. Just force a whole bunch of "this is a bad choice" into his head.
Good.
Hold on, let me see. Do I roll for dissonant whispers? I do.
Mm-hmm. And it makes a wisdom save, or it tries to make a wisdom save.
Oh. And actually, I'm going to upcast that with a second level spell slot.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm going to upcast Dissonant Whispers with a second level spell slot.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see, 13. Okay. You hit it. And it falls over and is clearly trying to play dead.
Then who's next in the initiative order?
I would have said it falls over dead and then have all of you roll insight checks or anything like that, but it literally rolled a nat 1 on its deception check.
Who's next in the initiative order?
Next in the initiative order is actually it, but following it is Shay.
Then as my bonus action, I'm going to turn into Shay and say, it's very clearly not dead, and you're very clearly very strong. Please kill it for me, and give you Bardic Inspiration.
All right, sweet. Well, I think on that note...
Well, hearing that, the rat is going to know that the jig is up, so it's going to spring to its feet again and try scurrying off into the entry tunnel, but it doesn't make it far enough. It's clearly just running away, but Shay, you get to take a shot at it on your turn if you want.
I do, because this should not exist. So I'm going to try to attack it.
Okay, roll to hit, please.
You don't want Necrocory 2.0?
No, not in this game.
That definitely hits and drops it the rest of the way, and it just sort of goes sliding against the wall with the momentum. All of the rat locks are down. All of the other rats say, screw this, and just scatter in every direction anyway.
They're normal rats,
They
though?
had only barely started getting to people.
They're not rat locks.
If you want to just say, these are not rat locks.
Okay.
They do look like they are intelligent, but possibly open to devil worship, which is why they were part of this ritual still.
Unfortunately, I already used my action.
Say descriptively and not require any rolls that you guys try to kill all of these extra, open to devil worship rats.
Nah, it wasn't their fault.
They were worshiping devils.
Yeah, but did they have a choice?
Okay, so Shay is going to start taking some pot shots. Is anybody else going to try dropping any of these rats? Behad's like, no, it's not their fault.
I'm gonna go check on the cat.
Okay. Behan's like, they were raised wrong.
You
They had
know,
a rough childhood.
Misha thinks about it.
Probably like a month.
Misha thinks about pot-shotting some of the rats just because she's a little bit petty, and then remembers that the cat is in the cage and the cat is what they're there for. So she's gonna say, okay, Bayon, just because you asked me to, I won't kill any of the rats.
Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome, darling.
And as you and Behan are getting the cage down, the cat says in common, you really should kill all of them.
You know, you were almost a cat kebab. I
Yes,
don't want to hear
that
anything.
is why you should really kill all of the rats.
Dion, can you get some of the rats, please?
Yeah, I'll try this.
I mean, you have several good. Yeah, you can just sacred flame.
Yeah, I was gonna
thunderwave on that group over there.
Yeah, I would start just doing that. So
we do need to wrap up, but you are victorious over this rat cult of this mirroring cult of Beelzebub, as it were, that had actual warlocks of the archdevil. And yeah, you rescue the cat, who apparently can speak, and actively, as you guys are leaving and you go back out, he whimpers a little bit. Can you just can you let me out and just you let him out of the cage already and you're just like taking him back, or are you keeping him in the cage?
I think Misha would recommend that we keep him in the cage for now.
Okay. Can you just can you let me out, or at least just put me down next to the bones over there?
No.
Well, the bones are, I think there might be a reason why he wants to be near the bones.
Yes, and I can't imagine it's a good one.
Well, that's rude.
And
I just want to say goodbye to my friend.
can I insight his intention?
Yeah?
8. He just wants to say goodbye to his friend.
I mean, we could put him down in the cage by the bones.
I'm just concerned that he was also making deals with the devils. We don't really know.
I was not making deals with devils. And the cat actually puts his paw on his chest. I was not making deals with devils.
No, you were just leading you were just amassing a, I don't know, kingdom down here. Sounds like you were up to some kind of hinky shit, my guy.
Look, you're smart. You'll be able to come back once you're back to
just
your friend, your human brother. Like,
fine.
Thank you.
And he looks over.
We're gonna get our gold.
Goodbye, Thundermaw. You tried to protect me.
Oh, okay, let's let him out of the cage.
Oh, Bayon. I promise you, listen, you can come back. I'll even help you come back. Just let us get paid first.
Okay. Yeah, Thundermont will be there a little longer. Oh, God.
Okay. So you get out, you reverse engineer the directions that the intelligent rat had given you back in the lab, and you make it back to the marketplace. Skylar, does Misha have prestidigitation?
No, and she's so incensed about it. She is so mad about it.
You all are stinky. Are you going to go to the academy campus just to get a quick prestidigitation from some random post-grad?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's not hard to do. So you get cleaned down, you no longer smell. You can tell, like, if you smell a little bit, you might not realize how much you smell, but when you smell a lot, you know that you smell at least a little bit. So as you're walking through town and you see the faces people are making at you, and you look down at your boots and you're just like, shit. Literally shit.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
I would have tried to convince Behan to bring the body of Stonebreaker with us to turn into the lab geeks to get money that way, to show
ooh,
that there was a rat who created a cult, which is a
Yeah.
sign of intelligence.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll put this
Actually-
giant mangy rat over my shoulders instead of you.
it's not actually a normal rat. Obviously, not just the size. It is semi-humanoid.
Oh, I don't like
In
that.
fact, spoiler, not that you have much way of finding this out now that he's dead, and I hadn't figured out another way to actually let you find out. He was blessed into being a werehuman.
Oh, where are you?
Oh,
That's so
Okay.
funny.
Yep. I was using the were-rat stats, but he was a werehuman because he was a rat originally. So, you get precipitated at the academy, and you head back and knock on the door at the Bozzares residence, and Seija opens it up. Oh, you found him in a cage?
In a cage.
And the cat just sighs and says in Elvish, "Can you tell them to let me out of the cage now?" Well, you did bring back the cat, so, and she calls up the stairs. "Young Master Alistair, they've brought Kitty Cat back, Mr. Kitty Cat back." And you hear the cat groan a little bit. Do you open the cage now?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You open the cage. The cat jumps down, and you hear the scampering downstairs of a slightly awkward, gangly teenage boy. And Alistair appears and says, "Mr. Kitty Cat!" He goes down, and the cat completely docilely just lets himself be picked up and gives a look at you guys like, "I guess this is fine." And Alistair is hugging the cat. It's like, "I'm so glad you're back," and starts petting. He can barely hold this cat in his arms, starts petting the cat. And Mr. Kitty Cat just goes, "Meow."
Meow. Oh, what
I'm
a
so
good
glad to see you too.
kitty you've got there.
And rolls his eyes. "Meow."
So
Okay,
about
let's go
that
get you some
goal,
fish. Meow. Yes, of course. One moment, she reaches into her purse. She has a little, bag on her belt. She reaches into her purse and then reaches in a good chunk of her forearm and pulls out a leather pouch. "Here you go." Hands it to you.
Who takes it?
Misha.
Yeah. Misha takes the pouch, which at first feels oddly light. Like, this doesn't seem to have 1,000 coins in it. It only seems to have 100 coins in it. But then you pop it open, and those are platinum.
Oh,
nice.
well then.
It's been a pleasure doing business. Well, if we ever lose track of Mr. Kitty Cat again,
Check the sewers.
I suppose.
And maybe look for any reports of
So.
demonic wildlife in your area.
The concentration of flies,
Very good. Yes. She just gives queer looks at each of you. Well, again, thank you, and good day. And she closes the door. Mission complete.
Yay!
Okay. Thank you very much for playing in this. And audience, thank you very much for watching our wacky hijinks. And my dog says hello.
Oh,
My dog says hello. Oh.
All right.
But
well,
thank you very
I'm gonna
much.
jump in with a quick outro for the channel then of just thanks so much for anyone who joined us. We are Live from the Apocalypse, a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and progressive causes. And today we are raising money for Extra Life, which is a gamer charity where today is specifically their game day, which is 24 hours of streaming of various gamers who are raising money to benefit the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And if you would like to help us reach our goal, you can do !point donate in the chat and you'll get a link for our donation page. We also will be streaming various one-shots all today through 11 p.m. and again tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. So all weekend long, we will be raising money for this charity. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
thank you.